Podcast. We back again, goddamn it. Episode 7, Big B's. How you feeling?
7?
This episode 7, man.
It means so much because 7 mile. You know what I'm saying?
I like how you put that together there.
I'm back on 7 child support payments.
Okay.
So I got to pay that in the lottery. Yeah.
Oh, you played the lottery. You know that lottery just hit for $1 billion. You played?
Yep. I'm driving to Chicago. I know them people.
Like I said, you finna skip town.
Yeah.
Episode 7, man. We got a special guest, a special family member in the building.
The myth, the legend.
We got Kwame Kilpatrick in the building today. Episode 7, the lucky 7. So it's perfect. It worked itself out. It worked itself out.
Right though. I love that number. Yeah.
How you feeling this morning though? This first time we did the podcast.
How you feeling,
in the
KK?
morning.
I feel good, man. I feel good in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, I know y'all go hard late.
Yeah.
So I'm all right in the morning.
Yeah.
I feel good, man. Yeah.
What get you moving in the morning? Coffee, tea, man.
Coffee.
Prayer. What to do?
Prayer first.
Okay.
Definitely got to get up on the side of the bed, put the feet on the floor, and thank God.
Okay.
Every day is a miracle.
Absolutely.
You know, I wake up, my baby crying. You know, that's a miracle.
Absolutely.
You know, I got a wife laying next to me. That's a miracle.
Yes, sir.
And so I got to thank God for it. Then after that, I go down to get my coffee. I'm ready to roll.
Okay, I got to
ready to
meet
roll
a
after
miracle.
You got me.
You out
Yeah,
there listen, I need a miracle.
you got to meet a woman named Miracle.
Yeah. In the car, that's Miracle with. You know.
Yeah, that ain't the same.
Yeah.
That ain't the same.
Oh, you got a newborn, huh?
I got a newborn.
Oh,
He's about 2.5 months.
congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
thank you,
Congratulations
brother.
on that.
Thank you, brother.
Congratulations.
So I got him 26-year-old twins. I got a 20-year-old. I have an 11-year-old by marriage and a 2-month-old. So I'm tripping. I done tripped all the way out.
I done tripped all the way out.
Yeah,
So
I
you got all boys.
All boys.
Got your own starting 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Man,
Yeah,
right
for
now,
sure.
we ready to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ready to roll. My point guard, he is a little young. We got to get him right.
We finna call, instead of LeVar Ball, we got Kwame Ball in here today.
I love it.
That's crazy. 2 months. What's his name?
King Malachi.
Oh, that's a strong.
Yeah, he got to live up to that.
He got to.
Yeah, you got to
Gonna have
walk
to do
into the name,
something.
you know? Yeah, definitely.
See, it's going to hit a little different when he say, "Look at me, King," because that's his name. Look at me, King. It's going to be different. I like that. Let's do it.
Yeah, you good, King?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
You're a king.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh man, okay.
So, Kwame, how I feel like just being from the D? Like, what? Tell the people who don't know, what part of Detroit you from?
I'm from Linwood and the Boulevard. I grew up on Lothrop and then LaSalle. But my whole family, they between the Boulevard and Linwood all the way to about Chicago and then up to Dexter.
Yeah.
So everybody is from that area. I rode my bike and saw my whole family, my whole life. So,
Nice.
you know, that's the area I'm from. I went to Fairbanks Elementary School, Pelham Middle School, and Cass Tech.
Dope.
Yeah.
And you went to the old Cast Tech.
Yeah, I went to the old building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one gone.
Yeah, that one. Long
Yeah,
gone.
it's gone.
Old Pickle Factory.
Yeah, the old pickle factory. Hanging out on the 8th floor upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt.
When you say Linwood, like in all them streets you name is like what they is now. What was it like then? Was it a better time then? Because now when you say them names, it's like, woo, lock your doors. But was it a better time?
Well, it was better, but you better lock them doors. Yeah, you had to lock the doors in the 80s too.
Oh,
you know,
cool.
but it was better because it wasn't so desolate. You know, it was more
you're
people.
right.
You had stores. I bought my first suit when my grandfather took me up on Linwood to Hollywood Fashions. I got my first suit. You know, we had Mr. Owens to go get the chickens. You had the Beatties store down there. So all of these places, they gone. And so, you know, that's when I ride down Linwood now, you can hear it. I'm like, man, because the store was at the corner. I knew this people, those people. But even the homes that I'm talking about where these people live, gone. So it was more of a bustling thing. I rode my bike. I tell my sons because they like, whoa, you rode your bike? I rode my bike from Lothrop and Linwood to Carter and Dexter, Joy Road. I rode down to my cousin's barbershop, way down on Dexter and Fullerton. So I rode my bike through all that area. So it was crazy. But, you know, back then it seemed like people shot who they was looking for.
Yeah.
You know, I was safe. You know, I was square.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't into nothing. You know, and so wasn't nobody really bothering me. You know, so I could ride my bike. I saw a lot going on. I could see people doing what they were doing. But, yeah, it wasn't the desolate Linwood that it is now. But NFL was there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And people don't know I was born on Lothrop.
Really?
Yeah.
Where? Lothrop and what?
I had to ask my mom. I was a kid when I left though.
Yeah.
I
you got up out of there, huh?
Yeah, but She hate when I say I'm from the east side. She be like, no, you're a west side.
Okay,
Like, all I know is the east side, but she hate when I say that though.
Now, what part of the east side you from?
I grew up on 7 Mile and Gratiot.
Okay.
7 Mile Moraine, that area.
Yeah.
Area they call the red zone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you went to Denby?
No, I went there for one day. I seen somebody get stumped out. My mom say, we putting you in an academy. I went to Chandler Park. I said, you won't be going to Denver.
Yeah.
Then went straight to the police academy.
Yeah, right.
I gotta protect myself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I left Denby. I was there for one day. I'm talking about, I'm walking out to school. My mama watching him get stumped out. She said, this is your first and last day.
Yeah.
I never went back.
Grand
to
opening, grand close.
I went to Chandler Park.
Okay, yeah. See, that wasn't there when I was coming up. Yeah.
I was like one of the first people that went to Chandler Park. They was adding a grade every year, 9th, 10th.
Okay, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so
that's all right.
I was a part of that.
Well, you're an excellent model for Chandler Park, man.
Yeah, thank
what
you.
you're doing, and I see you. You know you crazy. I told you that.
No, you did. You definitely said that.
But I love it. I love it,
appreciate
brother. Yeah.
I really just be showing where we from. Like, people don't know, like, them Detroit motherfuckers really act like that. That's just who we are.
That's who we are.
That's who we are.
That's who we are. This
We
is
so misunderstood.
Yeah.
And but we misunderstood in one respect. Wherever you go though, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, L.A., New York, and you find some Detroiters, they doing something. They doing something. They working it out. They in the know. And if you can, that's a network that we tap into everywhere. You'd be surprised. I went to Israel for 10 days. Yeah. We land in Israel. We go straight to the embassy in Tel Aviv. A dude was walking around. Hey, somebody here from Detroit.
Right.
I said, I'm from Detroit. He said, Mumford High School. I said, wait a minute. He was running the embassy in Tel Aviv. He was running all the American operations. I said, man, you from Detroit, born and raised, 7 Mile, Curtis and Livernois. He was from that area. And I said, wow. So we everywhere.
One thing about Detroit, we're going to get our hustle on.
Ain't no question.
We're going to get our hustle on.
Ain't no question.
It's a real. Yeah. Damn, so, Kwame, do you understand, I guess, let me ask you this. Do you understand what you mean to the city? Like the love, it's the bittersweet love that you have, but you going to always be like our hero. Do you know that? Did you know you was wearing that cape before you put it on? And
no.
You didn't, do you feel it?
I feel it when I come home. When I come home and I walk around and we was on 7, I had a documentary team follow me. And they wanted to meet at a restaurant. I said, no, I don't think you can get the real feeling about Detroit. You meet at a restaurant. So I started driving them around the city. So I stop at 7 Mile, Illinois. We jump out the car. Cars everywhere. What's up, Kwame? Oh, my man. What's up, Kwame? Nigga, my nigga. I say, oh. So they get out, and the documentary guy's like, whoa. We go downtown. I take them to Belle Isle. I'm trying to show them the Detroit that they never see, that they never hear about. But what I saw that day was the love that folks had for me, man. It felt good. I appreciate y'all, too. That got me through a lot of horrible days, and so I appreciate this city.
And just being home, how has it felt since you've been home?
It feels good, man. And, I tell people all the time, I was free before I left. Really. I was I knew how to wake up in the morning and deal with the prison environment. I was cool.
Did it take you a while to adjust to that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I had never been bound. Yeah. And the first time that I went into a prison, they put me right in a shoe. And
what's the shoe? Yeah,
that's the special housing union, solitary.
Okay.
So they put me in a cell by myself, and I'd never been locked up before.
Right.
And so I was in there about 5-6 weeks, just right off the rip. And so they snatched me into the prison environment. Yeah. And so that was hard. It was a hard adjustment. I'm used to coming as I please, doing what I want, not being called inmate. And, the people there were being ugly to me intentionally. Yeah. I did have one guy there who was locked up in that same unit who really helped me adjust to that. When I first got to the Oaks facility in the state of Michigan, the first person I met right there was Rick Wershe, white boy Rick. Wow. First person in the unit. Kwame, man, it's Rick, baby.
That's how he walked up.
That's how he came to the door. But he actually helped me adjust to the environment. Yes. And so, but it was rough, man. It was rough. Not being able to call your kids, not being able to get to the phone, not being able to do from being free, not just free outside of prison, but a free person. It's a lot of people, they out here, but they stay in the house all day.
Absolutely.
They sick, they chained to a machine or something. Yeah. It's a lot of people bound in prisons that are not federal or state institutions. Yeah. But I was a free guy. I like to get out. I like to travel. I've been to 10 Super Bowls. I went to All-Star games. So then, bam, you just in a cell. It was tough. Yeah. It was rough.
Absolutely. That's deep. And we speaking of white boy Rick, they don't even know we got him here today.
What?
Yeah. They don't even know we got white boy Rick here today. So we're going to introduce white boy Rick, man. How you feeling, my guy?
Feeling good, haha.
Yeah. We got white boy Rick
my
in the
brother's
building.
here with me, free.
Yeah.
So, you know, I love them. Some people love us and hate us, but you know, the haters, we can't worry about them. We focus on positive things.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So when I met Kwame in prison, man, I had read about him for so long and what he was going through. And like he said, to be locked up right off the bat. I was young. And when I say I was fortunate in that sense, I was fortunate because I was able to adapt to it as a young man.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like I equate it to like if you get a puppy and you every day you tell him, hey, kennel up.
Yeah.
And that dog starts going in that cage. You know, you don't even have to open the door. He just goes in. Yeah. So for me, it became normal. And I knew how hard it was. Yeah. And I knew it was going to be harder for him because he was much older than me when he came.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine it. So whatever I could do to make his time there better, and I had a little pull there, so I was able to get him out of his shoe cell.
Yeah.
And
that was crazy.
You know,
no, he was walking around there like, I said, man, what are you, how do you do this?
Shoe?
The man came to the cell and said, I'm going to get you out of here. I said, man, what, to Detroit? He said, no, out of here. You know? So
that baby
he got me out. You know, I went to prison. It's crazy to say that. I walked into the Oaks prison on June 8th, 2010. That was my 40th birthday.
Wow.
So I walked into prison on my 40th. My first time in prison was my 40th birthday. So I walked in there, man. We had rooms in Miami, a good celebration. No. I was at the Oaks. And so when he was talking, how hard that was, and when they closed that door, you in there for 23. You in that joint. It's nobody coming. You know, and it's the crazy part about it is that you ask somebody, if somebody go by, hey, man, what time is it? They say, okay, it's 2 o'clock.
Ooh.
It feel like 3 hours go by. You say, what time is it? It's 2:16. I got to get that.
It's only been 16 minutes.
That's only been 16 minutes. I can't do this.
Man,
so you got to constantly calm yourself down. But, you know, by the time I got to the feds, I did probably more than 300-400 days the whole time. So, I mean, it became normal. It became normal.
23 hours, like, just locked down like that, like, how did that affect you just mentally?
I like to tell people I went all the way down to a point where I didn't want to live. If this how it's going to be, I'm ready to go. And, you know, to be totally honest and transparent, I was losing my mind in there. They sent the site guy, but I'm still from Linwood. Yeah. He came in, they rolled it, you know. He come in, he said, are you okay? I said, I'm cool, man. What you mean? I'm cool. He said, well, do you have vertigo? I said, vertigo? What's that? He said, the room start moving. I said, no, man, I'm good, man. I don't need nothing. I don't need no medicine. I don't need no drug. I'm good. Yeah. So he left, and I was sitting there like, ooh, the room is kind of moving in this joint. But I wasn't going to let nobody else know. Yeah. But privately, it was rough. It was rough. And that's when people, you know, they want us to be punished. I want you to be punished. And most people like that, they being punished themselves. Yeah. You know, misery loves company. And so miserable people, like you talked about haters, they don't really hate you. There's something going on with them that they hate themselves about something. Yeah. And so if people start dealing with themselves, I think they'll start liking everybody else too, you know.
In there, you like he said, the psych or whatever, you don't ever, for me, as long as I was in there, I never took a med. I never spoke to a psychologist or a psychiatrist because they're able to put things in your file.
Yes.
So say Kwame would have told him, oh, I'm seeing things or I'm hearing things. Bro, they write that shit in your file. It could screw you up for parole. It could, all types of things. But a lot of young kids, when they're in there, they don't realize that. Yeah. So they're trying to get on a med or something to make them sleep. Then you go to the parole board and you go to this, and they're like, well, he needs assistance and he needs this. So the system really in there sets you up for failure as well. Not only does it set you up for failure out here, it sets you up for failure in there. Yeah. So if you're strong enough like he was or I was to mentally find that place, you know, and we got through it. Me, I got through it with watching things that were going on in reality or the DuPont registry.
Yeah.
You know, I brought him a whole bunch of DuPont registries.
Brought me a whole
and
bunch of
said,
DuPonts.
here, man, we're going to get this shit again when we get out. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And you always have to keep a positive mindset that you're going to achieve these things when you get out. And we are. We had them before. We'll get them again.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how long you're there. As long as you're the same person that walked in that door, you change yourself for the better, you walk out that door, but on the inside, we're from the D. We're all grinders. We're going to find a way.
There's a natural toughness that comes from your upbringing. You know, it kicks in. You could be political and all of that, but when the rubber hit the road, you got to face up what's going on. And all of us who grow up here, you've been in a situation that's life or death. You've been in a situation, whether it was a club or you went to the corner store, that somebody was like, you know, what's up? And you at that moment, you had to decide wwho you really are. You know, especially if he caught you slipping.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like, bro, you don't want to do that.
So while you was in there, did you have to box anybody? Did you?
I had a few scrapes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but everything's all right.
Yeah, everything's all right. Yeah.
You know, I can say this. I was like Switzerland.
Yeah.
You know, I was a neutral entity.
Uh-huh.
A lot of guys, not so much in the state, because I left the Oaks. I went to Cotton facility, and I was there for more time than I was at the Oaks. But it was, I had to say this, the Nation of Islam guys, Detroit guys, Number Streets guys, Linwood guys, they wouldn't let nothing happen to me. And I got to just thank them. That's why if brothers call now, I still try to help with people with the legal work. You got some good men in there that really need opportunity for a second chance out here. But I didn't really have it. If they did happen, it'd last 30 seconds. It'd be some, they'd be pretty much, you know. So
That blue says so much for
I had really good support. You know, I had good support.
In and out.
I got to start using that.
And that was nothing but the grace of God. I can say this, that even when I was going through all of that, it was drawing me near to God, out of myself. Every situation in my life, I thought I was able to handle. Absolutely. And so I allowed myself to be put into a situation where I couldn't handle it. And so I had to understand the power of the Spirit of God. And that's what happened to me at the Oaks and the Cotton and in the 4 facilities I was in the federal system.
Absolutely. One of our homies, Kwame knows a Minister Troy, big fella, like Kwame, but he went to prison very young with me.
Yeah.
And now he does so much for the community and gives back and changed his life, and he runs the Nation of Islam here in Michigan. But Troy is an inspiration to many people, man. Like, the good that he does, people don't even realize at such a young age, you know, he was taken away from his family and put in this environment where really, bro, you learn to fend for yourself, and you learn to do things that most people out here don't even understand just to survive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with Kwame saying that, there's a lot of people in our prison system that don't belong in our prison system.
Man.
Absolutely.
A lot. You know,
And there's a lot to do. That's why they really need to talk to us. They let some guys out, and then they come out and do some nutcase stuff, and it messes it up for hundreds of guys that could have got opportunity. We could talk to you about who don't need to come out.
Yeah.
You know, I just saw a guy, and they had him down there in Georgia. He got out. He was crazy already. Had all kind of stuff. They let him out, and he ended up raping a 11-year-old girl or something when he got out. And they made him the picture of not letting anybody out. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, because most of the guys in there, they would have never dealt with this dude. You know, and so we really, I want to find a way. When they talk about criminal justice, usually they talk about it in the form of police interaction on the street. Yeah. That's about this much of the criminal justice system. We watch guys die in prison all the time. Right. You know, more than get shot by cops. Wow. You know, and so how do we give people an opportunity to have a second chance out here instead of continuing this industrial complex where you just making money off the backs of these people just staying locked up?
Trying to sell them a soup for $1.
That's deep.
Charge them for an email both ways. Overcharge you for a phone call.
Right.
People are at the lowest point of their life. They preach family ties or you know, keep it. Most people can't afford it unless you have someone that could put that money on your books. Yeah. You know what I mean? But one thing I could say about a lot of us in the city in there, we all look out for each other, like he said. You know, there's very strong, whether you're in federal prison in Arizona or you're here in Michigan, of course you're going to have like he said, that certain people are going to be the troublemakers or whatever. But for the vast majority, bro, as a whole, we stick together, bro.
When you was in there, did you convert to Muslim? Why you was
No.
Yeah,
I'm a born again, blood washed, believing in the Lord Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
But I've always had a relationship with men, brothers, and so whether they were Nation of Islam or whether they was so-called agnostic, because I don't believe in. I know everybody believe in something. You putting your faith somewhere, and so I just like people. So those brothers, because I respect people who are respectful, and plus the minister, who has always been a person that I've respected greatly, and so that's where I had. But God moved on me in a way that it was unmistakable who I need to follow, and it was that person of Jesus Christ, and so that was who I was then, and it's who I grew up in and matured in now. So we just launched a ministry down in Atlanta, and we're about to move forward in that. I think that what he's done for me, Donald Trump got me out of prison.
Yeah.
So y'all got to understand that. Donald Trump's heart was moved to me. When people was tearing up the Capitol, peeing on Nancy Pelosi's seat, breaking windows, calling for his resignation on January 12th, he had a meeting in his office and said, I'm going to help that guy. That's crazy. How is he thinking about me at a time? And I never met this man. Never met him. Didn't have any relationship with him. Alice Johnson, y'all remember the woman who Kim Kardashian helped get out of prison? I never met her before in my life. She said the Lord put me on her heart. At January 12th, she walks into the Oval Office. The president is about to leave. He asked her, what are some things that I can do for you? Now, Alice could ask for anything. This is a billionaire she's sitting in front of. That's going to be a billionaire on January 21st when he leaves. She could ask for a number of things. She asked for 3 people to get out of prison. One of them was me.
Wow.
And, so I know that was God. I was praying. I was in solitary then with some nutcase stuff. But I was in there then, no shot, no nothing, on the floor praying that the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, and like the rivers of water, he could turn it whichever way he pleases. Lord, please turn Donald Trump's heart towards me. Yeah. That's what I was praying every day for 200 days in there.
And he turned. Wow.
Listen, when I got out, I talked to Jared Kushner. That's the president's son-in-law. I talked to him. I said, why did y'all do this? Like, why did you help me? He said, Miss Alice just walked in that room, and our hearts were turned towards you. This is the exact words he used. I didn't tell him nothing about the prayer and everything. I said, I know who I'm going to follow. Thank you, Lord. I got you.
Oh, my God.
To the day I die. And so that is exactly what happened to me over them 15 months in state prison and 39 days short of 8 years in federal prison. And every situation, he kept showing me, I'm with you. I just need you to be the man that you prayed about being. And so that's what I'm doing now.
That's powerful.
People don't realize, too, Donald Trump signed the largest corrections reform bill ever in the history of America.
Right.
So whatever you believe in, I don't support any party. I support whoever's the best person. Yeah. That's how I look at people. I don't care what you are, who you are, whatever. I try and that's just me. I try and look at the best person. Yeah. But he recognized that there was a huge problem with our criminal justice system. And he was the only one that addressed it, like tried to address it. And by letting Kwame out was a huge part of that. And there's a lady here, a state representative, Sherry Gay Dinyogo.
She was big.
And she's fought for me. She's fought for Kwame.
She went right to the president. They invited her to the Oval Office. This is what I like. When you go to the Oval Office, you're not enamored with being there taking pictures. Yeah. She walked right up to the president, gave him a letter, and said, please help my mayor. I said, whoa. And she sent a picture to the prison and showed me.
Man, it gives me
Man, I said, wow. I said, Sherry, thank you so much. Sherry Dinyogo, she's running for Congress. I mean, right now.
We couldn't have a better, not to preach about anything or whatever, but if I could pick one person, like I said, the best person, she's running for Congress, I would pick her, man.
Wow, y'all heard that here first.
Sherry Gay Dinyogo. She's from Detroit.
We behind her 100%.
She believes in the people, man. She believes in helping people that need help, man. Yeah. And to me, that speaks volumes about her because nobody has to do that, bro. No, you could go on with your job and you could forget about where you're from. Look at you, what you've done, haha.
If somebody that had that type of love in their heart for you, when they could be doing anything
Unconditionally.
in the
Anything.
world.
Unconditional.
And I didn't know Sherry like that.
Yeah, and
I didn't know. Did you know her before you?
No.
went?
I'm
She
not
just
when I
decided to help. That's how I know the Lord just
true
moved
love.
people.
So it was
in
a
the way.
combination of the two ladies. Did you saying that?
Yeah. Well, you had a lot of people. Alvita King, who's Dr. King's niece. She said a pastor, we don't even know who the pastor is, walked up to her in the library. She's in the library. Some pastor from Detroit walked up to her and said, "You close to the president. I want to talk to you about my mayor getting released. I don't even know who the pastor is." She takes it. She said that she just felt like she had a meeting at the White House about a month later. She goes in with the information he gave her, and she asked to get me out.
Yeah.
So her daughter, Angela Stan King, it was just a lot of women just rallied around. But I could say this, I got to mention his name, Jerron Smith, who was a black man who was the executive assistant to Jared Kushner in the White House. He was pushing from inside. They were moving from outside. I never met none of these people.
What?
You got to understand, I've never met them, never shook their hands, never met them. And when I got out, I went and hugged all of them. I found them all. Listen, where you at?
Kwame, let me give you my daddy name. I'm looking for him. See, you
That's
say,
because
what's,
good people recognize injustice.
Yeah.
And 28 years was unjust. You don't give someone 20. We let out rapists and child molesters. And I had that conversation with the lady I told you I spoke to about you yesterday. And I said, we punish all these nonviolent criminals. They might just be trying to help their family or feed their family. They're not preying on people. But you have rapists and child molesters that are out here preying on women and kids. Every day we parole them. But we have some young kid from the inner city that was trying to help his family. Did he do it the right way? I'm not condoning selling drugs by any means, but it's considered a nonviolent crime. How do we give this young man 20 or 30 years? Meech, Big Meech. The day I came out, I wore a Free Big Meech shirt. The man doesn't deserve 30 years in prison. He didn't prey on people, man. People that have drug addiction, it's a horrible thing. My heart goes out to them. I pray for them. But these dudes that are raping women and molesting kids, we need to make mandatory minimums for them, not for nonviolent offenders.
I was on the block with at Fort Dix in New Jersey with a group of guys that had a murder conspiracy, and they all got 30 years, and then they went back and got it reduced to 24 years. And they were sitting talking to me. I liked them. They was cool dudes. They was in the game, messed up, but they were actually all right guys. And we sitting around talking. They said, "Man, you realize you got more time than us," and we actually did kill that dude. First time that I had to realize, like, I said, "Whoa." He said, "We did it. You got more time than us, bro." I'm sitting there like, that is kind of crazy. And my case, they sold it to this city as, and I do want to say one thing before I get out. They sold it to the city, hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. Here was hundreds of millions of dollars. I got to court. They said, "Where's 9.6? I said, first time I heard that number was opening statements. 9.7, what is hundreds of millions of dollars? Closing statements, they said it's 4.7. It was 4.7 worth of money and all this kind of stuff. Never talked about what the money was due. It ended up being 1.5 million. That's what everything is in the paper now. It's 1.5 million. Now, they sold it to y'all as hundreds of million. I don't have a single case or charge for embezzlement, for stealing no money, for misappropriating any city money. Not a single charge or conviction. But they said that in the press, so everybody assigns my thing. Like, I stole from y'all. And that hurt so bad because I'm a Detroiter.
No, definitely. For me, one question, I know you got to get out of here. Do you think it was the media that got you convicted for 28 years?
I definitely believe that the media in this town made a concerted effort to put me in prison and to drum up all of the stuff. They work with prosecutors. They work with federal prosecutors. They got a really close relationship to try to get it up as high. When Nancy Edmonds, the judge in my case, who I actually thank now, because she helped me so much, more than she could ever realize. When she did her closing statement, she had a written speech. She started with 28 years sounds about right to me. So I was like, whoa. And she went into all of this stuff about media reports. She didn't mention anything that was in the courtroom. She didn't say anything. So this, at the end, is restitution 1.5, because I want to say something about that so people can understand this restitution. It has nothing to do with any loss to the city of Detroit. I filed paperwork and everything. It's no loss in this case. The $1.5 million that they say I owe is the difference in a $54 million water contract. They said because Bobby Ferguson was in the contract cost the water department $1.5 million more. They just made it up. So the 1.5, they saying we're jointly and severally liable for the 1.5. We have to pay back to the water department. Detroit, I want our money. You give us our money. You ain't getting none of that money. That money is not for you. And it was nothing that you lost. And so all of this stuff that these people fed you, you just took it and ran with it. And that's the dangerous thing, even as in closing. If you take Kwame Kilpatrick out of this, if you watch that tube and just believe it and go do and say and speak according to what they say on there, you already done killed yourself. No other community, the Jewish community, the gay community, the Asian community, they don't watch TV and decide what they do in their own community. Yeah. They look at it, it's entertainment. These people, but they go back to their community and figure out how we do this together. Absolutely. We got to start understanding that in the city of Detroit. Yeah, we got to. Like you said, we stuck together in prison, but we can't do it out here.
I mean, can you touch on one last thing, like 1 minute? When you got the word that you was getting out, even though you didn't know, what was, if you can just give us a small window of not believing that it was ever going to happen.
Tears.
Like
what?
something like what?
And I see my man tearing up over there too, because it takes you right back to those moments. But y'all, January the 19th, that's the day before Trump is leaving office.
So
I'm in the shoe.
The day before he left office?
He did it, I'm telling you, he did it that night. Let me tell you how it was. Out January 19th, I got the orderly, just like I had my man Fred Bradley, shouts out. He in there, coming, big homie. They talking about on CNN that they going to release several people. They ain't said your name yet. I said, I'm coming out of here. I'm coming out. He going to get me. He ain't going to leave me here, right? So he locks down at 10 o'clock. So they bring him over. He said, hey, they ain't said nothing, but they keep saying Trump is coming out. Yeah. So at 12 o'clock, I'm laying in the bed. I said, I'm getting out of here. I just kept saying, I know it's over. It's over with. Yeah. So the CEO coming by for the 12 o'clock count, I knock on the door. I say, hey, Ortiz, man, I just got a commutation. He said, Kilpatrick, who told you that? I said, no, for real, I just got a commutation. He said, who told you? I said, the Lord told me. Yeah. He said, oh, Kilpatrick. Yeah, I said, if you check the computer, I got a commutation. So I lay back down. Yeah. 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, you weren't supposed to open no shoe door. He opened the door, opened it. I looked at him. I'm laying on the bed. I said, what's up? He pulls out the News and Free Press. He said, man, you going home. You got a commutation. That's beautiful. Wow. I jumped off that bed, jumped straight on the floor. Hey, Lord, God, this is it. I prayed and hollered and screamed. Yeah. And then he said, I'll be back. After that, I went to sleep.
Yeah. You went to the mall in your head.
Man, I'm out.
Yeah, he slept comfortable.
That's one of them Cinnabons.
I want some cheesecake. Yeah, I need some catfish.
Yeah.
You know?
Talking about, I'll be back. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, take that. The warden knocked on the door at 5:30 in the morning and said, it's true. I'm going to get you out of here quick and quiet. Yeah. The craziest thing in the world. When I walked out of that prison, and you did the same thing, I never knew how easy it is to get out of a prison if ain't nobody in your way. I walked straight out the front door. Wow. People, hey, all right, good luck to you, Kilpatrick. Hey, Kilpatrick. All the people used to be like, hey, man, look at you. They, hey, good luck to you. The whole attitude changed. I got to the car. They taking me to the airport. I'm about to get in the back seat. Dude said, oh, hey, Kilpatrick, it's over, man. I'm in the front. Yeah. I go in the front seat. I went to the airport. I'm in the airport tripping. I got on the gray sweatsuit. I got on the prison gray.
You know what was powerful to me is when I seen the video of you just hugging your family.
Yeah, man.
Like you held everybody for at least 2 minutes. Everybody you hugged, you just held on to them. Man. That was powerful to me when I watched that.
You know that was powerful too? Just seeing that your beard stood the test of time.
But the beard stood. Yeah, the beard stood.
You would have came out without the beard, would have been like, put him back, man. We don't know him. We don't know him, man. Get that beard out of there, man.
Yeah, a lot more gray, but it's
how you hug them people, bro, because me and him understand this, but most people don't, because sometimes you think you'll never get to hug them again.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
That's real. I told you I visited my grandson and my daughter. My daughter, when I walked in, she fell over, bro. Yeah. Like, that, I didn't get to say goodbye to my father, which my old friend Boo is here with me. Yeah. And he knows how close we all were to my father, man. Yeah. But I'm glad when he got out, one of the things that I was so happy for him, Michelle would tell you, I said, he gets to be with his family.
Absolutely.
And to me, that meant the world to me for him because I didn't get that. He gets to see his kids grow up. Yeah. He gets to see certain things. He gets to say goodbye to his parents when that day comes. Yeah. I didn't get that, bro. So for me, for Kwame and his family, I was thankful for that. That was the real from me to him, bro. He'll always be my brother. Yeah. The first time I saw him, we hugged, bro, like you just said, man. And we got pictures of it. And you know, he talked to my son and said, yo, your dad helped me. And I talked to my son about that after, and my son appreciated that he said that. Wow. And I said, man, we stuck together in there. We did what we had to do. Yeah. But I just wanted him out, bro, because I know he didn't deserve it. Yeah. Man. You know, and the media, bro, they're a blessing and a curse. Yeah. They can be twofold. Yes. When they want to help you, a lot of people in the media at the end, they help me. Yes. But in the beginning, Boo would tell you, and everybody that knows me, everything was fake. It was fake news, like Trump said. Yeah. Bro, they had me like this drug kingpin. I was 17, bro. Yeah. And my friend, Kevin Hanna, he was 16. Yeah. They called him a drug kingpin. Yeah. So a 16 and a 17-year-old are these huge drug kingpins. Yeah. Like it just, I'm like.
They can't kill you unless they make you a kingpin.
I was like, do people really believe this shit?
Yes.
But people believed it.
Yes.
And did I sell drugs? I sold a lot of drugs. I'm not proud of it. Yeah. But I was never El Chapo or Pablo Escobar, bro. That's a drug kingpin. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? I think people they lived in that fantasy world where our era was Scarface. And they were like, damn, Rick made it to Miami. Mm-hmm. He was Scarface. No, I wasn't, bro. Yeah. I was a kid from the east side that went down the wrong path, that was led down the wrong path. Yeah. And I tried to make some money, but Boo standing here, we did a lot of good, bro, as kids, man.
No, what's powerful was that two Detroit motherfuckers, I got to say motherfuckers because we Detroit. It's free. We outside. And like you say.
This whole room says more than anything in the world. Like,
it's a miracle moment.
It's a miracle moment.
Last time that Rick and I mean, besides when he came to the wedding, that was the first time we engaged on the outside.
Why you didn't invite me to the wedding?
Man, you could have came through.
Like you could have called me.
Rick just came through.
He should have called me. I would have came through.
Yeah, Rick just came through. I don't know what happened to you.
Yeah. Check that. That's me.
That's you right there?
Right here. No, check it. That's a message. We sent you. I know you get a lot. So
and what year it say? What'd you say?
This was August.
Yeah. I told him. Like,
wow.
I said, me and my brother Howard Davis do a podcast. We'd love to have you, man.
But you know what? Y'all put it
together. Yeah.
See, right on. That's what
God and Rick.
Yeah, and I know Kwame got to get a.
Yeah, my cousin Josh, my Rick, everybody was over it. Yeah.
We were walking. Me, Ha, Barry, Envy. We were walking, and he was like, "Yeah, we've been trying." I said, I'm gonna call him right now.
And I'm on the bed burping the baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, Rick. Hello.
I'm trying to get. We was already setting it up. My man Mel was getting it together, and I was like, I'm trying to get Kwame come do the podcast. He said, I call him. You know how Rick move. I call him right now for you, ha.
Our backs was turned, man.
I turned back around. I was on the phone with you. I said, okay, here we go. Yeah.
A huge marijuana grow. Shout out to HOD, my man.
Man, let me get out. That's my cue. Yeah. Once they go down, now they in marijuana grow. Hey, let me go. I gotta go catch a plane.
Episode 7, man.
Hey, Boo, get me out of here, man.
Episode 7, man. We finna get out of here, man. We check it out early in the morning. Kwame, we appreciate you coming.
Hey, man.
Appreciate you coming. Doing this for me.
Thank you, yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Episode 7, man. Ha Davis podcast. We got comedian Blackberry here. We got white boy Rick here. We got Kwame Kilpatrick. We checking out. We got some bills to pay, man. Until next time. God damn it.